Journaling plunged me into darkness, depression, and regret that lasted 10 years. But I have solutions to these journaling dangers now, so you don't have to go through all that garbage. Here's a high-level view of my story. I was poor, I became a millionaire, and I became poor again. My journals record my rise from poverty to wealth and my tumble back to poverty. And along the way, even during my fall back into poverty, you can see this constant theme of resiliency and determination, this never give up attitude. But at one point, I didn't bounce back. A decision that I made resulted in separation from our extended family. It was intended to be a temporary separation, but things didn't work out that way. I was so angry with myself for making that decision. I mean, it hurt multiple generations of my family. My journal entries became dark, constantly focusing on guilt, regret. And for the next 10 years, my journals read like a bad country music song. You know, the kind where the dog dies, the truck breaks down, and the girlfriend runs off with the singer's best friend all in the same verse? Well, yeah, it was just hopeless. No more fight, no more can-do attitude, and I put on over 100 pounds with unhealthy eating. Let's just say that my comfort food wasn't exactly celery sticks. Then, about 2 years ago, my health was so bad that I decided to see a doctor. After my first appointment with her, I hauled 40 years worth of journals out and began to read them. And as I read through them, I spotted patterns. I discovered that journaling had helped me achieve my goals, improve relationships, and reach some big wins. But, and this is the reason for this video, journaling also plunged me into darkness, depression, and regret, and kept me there for 10 years. 10 years. Don't let that happen to you. If you're not already aware, let me just quickly say that, we're actually all hardwired for negativity. In fact, this is so broadly known that there's actually a scientific term for it, the negativity bias. I'll be talking more about this negativity bias in future videos, but for now, let me offer just a quick illustration to drive the point home. Can you remember the last time your car broke down? Now then, how many times has your car gotten you somewhere without breaking down? You see what I mean? We're more likely to remember the one bad experience over many good experiences. You could apply that same logic to a host of problems. Anyway, I vowed to protect my mind from that ever happening again, and it won't. Why? Because now I have guardrails and intentionality in place, and you can too. You can enjoy all the wonderful benefits of journaling, and there are so many benefits. And you can do that without having to worry about the dark side, the dangers of journaling. Here's how I use guardrails and intentionality. First, the guardrails. Whenever I sit down to make a journal entry, I glance through the previous entry. If it has a positive sound to it, I'll proceed. But if there's a negative vibe, then I'll check the previous 2 entries. And if I've gotten 3 in a row, 3 journal entries with negative vibes, I'll immediately move on to number 2, intentionality. And when I get to intentionality, I won't write down what's in my head. Instead, I'll look outside of myself. I will intentionally flip the switch on negative entries. These are some of my go-to tools for flipping the switch on negativity: beauty, gratitude, love, wonder, and audiobooks. I've got a ton more, but since we're only going to be looking at one example today, there's no sense in hauling out the entire list. Let me just say this. Depending on the nature of the negative entries, how I'm feeling at the moment, plus how much time I've got available, I'll pick 1 or 2 of these options. Now, I know that talking about this may not be pleasant. Darkness and depression and journaling is a tough topic. But if it's helping you, if you're enjoying this video, please smash that like and subscribe button and share the video with others who could benefit. In future videos, I'll be delving into all of these that I just named and a whole lot more as we look at different journaling methods together. But right now, I want to shift to a real-life example of how this actually works so you can see it for yourselves and see how you can incorporate it in your own journaling practice. Perhaps you're getting ready to journal. You've never journaled before. Perhaps you want to overcome depression or sadness. I am not a therapist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm just sharing with you things that work for me. If you need to seek professional help, please do that. This is a disclaimer. There are 3 steps. Easy, right? Here they are. Step number 1, pick an object. Step number 2, write about it. And step number 3, extrospection instead of introspection. Extrospection. Are you with me so far? Okay. Remember the scenario. I've noticed that I've had 3 negative sounding entries in my journal. Now, I want to flip that, change the trajectory of my thoughts, and intentionally make a positive entry. So, for this example, let's consider beauty. Step 1, pick an object of beauty. There's one. I'll be right back. This is a painting by Janet Barra. You can check out her works of beauty on jbarrafineart.com. That's JBAURA fineart.com. Now, this isn't a paid advertising. There's no affiliate marketing. She's going to be incredibly surprised to see this video, I'm sure. Let me just get this thing turned around. I'm going to set it up to where I can look at it, because in a second, I'm going to journal for you and show you how this works, talk you through it so you can do it too. All right, step 2, I've got my object of beauty, that's step 1. Step 2, now I'm going to write about it. Before I jump into the writing about it, let me give you a couple of quick pro tips. First, start simple. Just some simple bullet sentences, one after another. You can do 1, you can do 20. I'll list just a few to get you started. And then the second thing, if what I'm looking at triggers a negative memory, I'm not going to write about it this time. Because the goal of this exercise is to change the trajectory of my thoughts. I'm not going to enter a negative entry. Not this time. Okay, ready? Here's what it might look like. I'm looking at a painting called A Light to My Way. The artist is Janet Barra. There is a lighthouse in the painting. You see how simple I'm doing this? The skies are a mixture of blues and grays, suggesting an overcast or an evening scene. The water is calm with restful ripples. Okay, there's a few examples of how simple it can be. Now, let's try something a little more complex. Now I'm going to think more and feel, okay? The solitary lighthouse stands sentinel against the encroaching dusk, a silent guardian against the hidden dangers of the sea. The muted colors of the sky and water evoke a sense of tranquility, a moment of quiet contemplation at the day's end. Or whatever floats your boat. Step 3, extrospection, not introspection. Most journaling methods focus on introspection, which is great. I'm not saying introspection is bad, not at all. In fact, in future videos, I'm going to be talking about the benefits of introspection. But when you're trying to flip the switch on negativity, introspection can be unhelpful, harmful even. I know. I've got 40 years with the journals to prove it, with several cycles of doing that, introspecting myself into sadness and darkness and depression. So we want to look outside of ourselves. Think of others. How might this painting help me think of other people? Try this on for size. What do you think of this? The lighthouse warns of danger, guiding sailors away from rocky shores. Similarly, my journal entries documenting my own missteps, failures, and lessons learned can serve as a beacon for others on YouTube, helping them avoid similar pitfalls and navigate their own challenges with greater awareness. There. See how starting with a few simple statements can help us move on to a deeper thought and then extrospection? Oh, my mind just got blown. I've got to do something. You know what? I think I'm going to add a bonus feature to this video. One surefire way to practice extrospection at the end of a journaling session is to write a letter. And we've got the perfect scenario right here. I'm going to write the artist, Janet Barra. Now, you'll get to see a strong case for extrospection, and not only that, you'll get to see my 3-sentence letter writing formula, which I've used in tens of thousands of handwritten notes. Literally. Let me grab a piece of stationery. I'm so excited. I just got surprised myself. Ready? Dear Janet, your painting, A Light for My Way, is a tool of beauty and hope that I have used to quell tides of darkness when they rise up in my journaling. By focusing on the hope and guidance the lighthouse represents. And thinking of the thousands of people it has helped over its existence, I am encouraged to use my own life experiences, mistakes, and failures to help others. Your painting will be featured on my YouTube channel, illustrating how focusing on beauty can not only pull us out of darkness, but also help others find their way. All right, so in this video, we've identified the problem. There are dangers in journaling. And because we are hardwired to remember and focus on negativity, it's all too easy to let darkness dominate our journaling. There are many solutions. Today, we looked at one. We can stop negativity, flip the switch, take our eyes off ourselves, reflect on something wonderful like beauty, and seek to encourage others with our thoughts. In my next video, I'll be answering the question, why journal? Do you want to learn how to focus, set goals, be more organized, live a happier life, improve your relationships? Well, subscribe to this channel because we'll be diving into all those things and a whole lot more. Stay tuned.